2026. I welcome community members who are with us here in the audience and those who are watching at home. Will the secretary please take roll?
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Present.
Commissioner Murphy,
Here.
Commissioner Edsel,
Here.
Vice Chair Davidson,
Here.
and Chair Limon.
Here. Thank you. And now Commissioner Etzel will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, please stand and put your hand over your heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is our consent calendar. Are there any items that any commissioner would like to pull for discussion?
I'm fine.
Okay, so seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved. I'll second it.
Thank you. Please call for a vote.
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Edsel,
Yes.
Vice Chair Davidson,
Yes.
Chair Limon.
Yes. Okay, and the motion passes. And next are general public comments. This is for any person of the public who would like to speak on an item that is not on tonight's agenda. Okay, seeing no comments, we will close public comment and move on to the next item, which is Commercial Plan Development 258 Rove Operating LLC with a recommendation to adopt a resolution approving the CPD. And we'll now hear a presentation.
Thank you, Chair Limon. This item will be presented by Associate Planner Serena Gonzalez.
Good evening, commissioners and members of the public. Tonight I will be presenting on CPD 258 Rove. This is a request made by Matt Stowe from Rove Operating LLC to construct a new EV charging station and market on approximately 61,552 square feet of a vacant 2.79 acre lot located on the corner of Ventura Boulevard and Camarillo Center Drive. The project site has a general plan designation of commercial and zoning designation of commercial plan development. To the north of this site is Ventura Boulevard and the 101 freeway. To the east of this site, you have the motel right here and then the mobile home development down here. To the south of the project site will be the Quick Quack project site and also a portion of the Camarillo Premium Outlets. And then to the west is another portion of the Camarillo Premium Outlets. This is the existing site, a view from Camarillo Center Drive facing southeast. It is currently just grass and some other miscellaneous shrubs and bushes. Two previous developments have been approved for the site, but were never constructed. That was an automobile service station and a AAA building. But the site has remained vacant since. Here is the site plan. You can see that there is an area for the retail building here. The tenant will be determined at a later date. And then over here will be the parking lot with approximately 40 EV charging spaces. The EV charging equipment will be located along this east property line here. This is the phasing plan. The applicant proposes to do this project in two different phases. The first being underground infrastructure in the parking lot here with the EV chargers. And before the building is built, the applicant will be required to maintain this building pad here with landscaping, keep it looking nice until a tenant is identified, and the second phase commences. There will also be a shared loading dock that you can't see on this specific site plan, but you'll be able to see it on the Quick Quack one. That'll be right in the middle, so that way both sites have access for loading. There won't be too much loading for either of them, as it's a relatively small market, and then the car wash doesn't get too many deliveries. We went over the elevations a bit during architectural review, but to kind of go through them again, you can see here the east and west elevations. They are done in an early Californian Mediterranean style that is compliant with the heritage zone as well as the specific plan. Here shows a mural mock-up as well as these two. The final design of the mural will be subject to the approval of the Community Development Department at a later time. The building will be done in gray tones that comply with the heritage zone. And here are the north and south elevations. You can see that the building includes different types of trellises and features to break up the facades. Here's also the materials board, so you can see the glazing of the windows to tie in the colors, the 3 different gray tones, as well as the metal that will be used on, or the aluminum that will be used throughout the building. To streamline environmental review, Parker Environmental prepared a single Class 32 categorical exemption report for both Quick Quack Car Wash and Rove Charging and Market projects. These 2 developments share the same parcel, are both infill commercial uses consistent with zoning and the general plan. The combined analysis confirmed that neither project triggers any exceptions to the exemption. There are no unusual circumstances, cumulative impacts, or significant effects related to traffic, air quality, noise, or biological resources. The project is fully served by existing infrastructure, water, sewer, stormwater, and emergency services, so no extensions or major upgrades are needed. The site has no sensitive habitats, is currently vacant, and contains only ornamental trees and invasive grasses. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service data confirms that there are no endangered or threatened species or critical habitats here. Air quality was a key consideration given the site's proximity to residential uses. The analysis applied Ventura County Air Pollution Control District's thresholds and modeled construction and operational emissions using Cal EE mod. The results indicate that nitrogen oxides emissions will be approximately 22 pounds per day. While that figure may sound high, it is important to note that this is a regional planning metric, not a health-based standard. The VCA PCD threshold for significance is 25 pounds per day, and the project remains below that level. Compliance with this threshold means that the project's contribution to regional air quality impacts is considered less than significant under CEQA. Furthermore, actual exposures for nearby residents, including those in adjacent mobile home parks, will be far below harmful concentrations because emissions disperse quickly and represent a negligible increase compared to existing background levels. A detailed sound plan analysis modeled worst-case conditions, assuming all EV chargers and HVAC units operating simultaneously, and confirmed compliance with city standards. At the nearest residential property line, predicted project noise is only about 49 dBA during the day and 38 at night, which is below the city's limits of 55 during the day and 45 at night. Combined levels remain at existing ambient conditions, measuring the project, meaning the project will not increase noise exposure for nearby residents. To ensure continued compliance, a post-operational noise study will be required after opening. Tonight, staff recommends that the Planning Commission find that the project qualifies for a Class 32 categorical exemption pursuant to Section 15332 of the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines, and that they adopt a resolution approving CPD 258 subject to the recommended conditions of approval. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any of the commissioners have questions for staff?
On the two projects on one lot, do we know if those are going to be leased or eventually divided, or do we have any clue on that?
Currently, it is one owner.
Okay.
We have not indicated specifically whether they will sell them off. There may be talks about a lot split. We haven't determined quite yet.
Okay. I'm done.
Yeah, on the two different uses, will they be two different owners?
Yeah, for the
Yeah, I'm sorry. So there's two different
CPDs, yes.
yes, in front of us. And are each of those a different owner?
Yeah, the businesses will be owned separately, but the parcel is currently owned by one owner.
And they will lease the land, I guess,
Yes,
I
correct.
got it. Okay. All right. And then the noise studies that you mentioned, the 49 dBA during the day and I think 38 at night, was that done by a recent noise study through
Yes.
the applicant?
Yes, it was prepared specifically for this project, updated as recently as October 30th.
Okay. And then how soon after the project is up and running will the future noise study be required?
We have conditioned it, I believe, for 6 months after.
6 months. Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. Did the traffic engineer or anybody, did they look into the concern about the traffic going into there?
Yes, and we have Rick Gallegos here if you have any specific questions or if you would like him to speak on that.
I just saw this one comment we got, and I thought they made some good points that should at least be discussed. So I just want to know did they do a traffic study or?
They did submit a traffic study as part of that, as part of their application.
And they're not requiring any kind of mitigation for it? They didn't think that was necessary?
No, that the traffic study, and I'm sure Rick can go into this in a little bit more detail, did not show that there would be any need for any mitigation measures.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Could you go back to one of the slides that just shows the general
Yep.
overall of the area? I think it's the one that showed where everything was.
This one or the other one? There was,
Back further. It's the one that showed.
This one?
There we go.
Yeah.
That one. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I guess I'm hearkening to what the public comment said. Below to the south of this, we've got this beautiful cul-de-sac that somebody had to build, and yet the only access that it provides is to the Nike area of the outlet. Why didn't the landowner / developer seek to use that as access to the property instead of, I know there's an apron already built to the property, but it seems to me quite a waste of a perfectly good cul-de-sac, and that would certainly alleviate maybe some of the traffic queuing problems so close to another intersection. Can somebody kind of talk to that a little bit?
the project site on that apron that you were just mentioning, there will be a road that is in here, but I believe that Rick would probably be a little better suited to discuss those options.
I have an additional question regarding the traffic studies that have been done. First of all, were the traffic studies also done for the previous applications? I think it was a service station and a AAA building. And was any consideration given to a free right turn from Camarillo Center Drive onto Ventura Boulevard? I know that would help relieve the traffic congestion at that intersection, but it's only for the limited time that's the holiday season. The rest of the year, it's, I don't know if that gets incorporated into the traffic analysis, but I was wondering if a free turn had been considered for that location.
A free turn from which direction? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so free right turn from Camarillo Center Drive to Ventura Boulevard.
just at the corner to make the right turn going northbound
Correct,
onto
so the
Ventura
right turn
Boulevard?
doesn't need to stop, because that's where a lot of the congestion seems to happen.
Well, we have the
During,
need-
again, limited to the holiday season.
Right. Yeah, thanks for the question. That location is all signalized now, and I think that, when you put in a free right like that, then that causes additional concerns, because then you have the possibility of people going eastbound and possibly running into the people that are making that right turn. It would just, we didn't look into that for this particular case. That wasn't one of the things that was looked at for the traffic impact study. And as far as other studies, those are a little bit older and those kind of predate myself, so I haven't seen any of those studies in the past or from the past. But to go back to the question as to why the location going into the cul-de-sac wasn't suggested, that would probably need to go back to the designers and to see why they wanted to go that way. The reason I would think that they probably did it was probably because this is probably the first entrance, and it's a little easier to see where the entryway to the Quick Quack and the Rove would be. Using the other entryway, you would have to kind of drive all the way down to the back and around, and that would be another issue. The other thing that would assume is that would shrink down the size of the Quick Quack location. And so if it's shrunk down, then that may cause additional issues for the queuing inside. So they want to keep that as large as possible. This way it doesn't spill back out onto the roadway. But to kind of go back to the original question that was submitted, we understand that the concern about the queuing near Ventura Boulevard, and the traffic study shows no major adverse impacts. However, because this is a constrained location, potential queuing will be addressed through the final striping and signing review as required by the conditions of occupancy. So some of the things that we're thinking about was possibly like a keep clear at the intersection, so that when people are coming down to make a left, they can make a left turn into the location directly. So if there's a lot of traffic and is backed up to that point, that'll keep clear, and that'll keep the traffic that's going southbound, and they can make that left turn into the driveway. And then possibly we're going to see if we can squeeze in a little bit of a left turn pocket in there also to try to adjust that. They also mentioned new traffic signals. That was one of the questions that was on there. Just because of the number of, it's too close to the other intersection as it is and the other signals, so we wouldn't be able to put that in there. And same thing with stop signs. It's just too close for that type of situation. But we might be able to go through and fine tune the signal that's out there now, and we can try to manage that so that we can adjust for the number of turning vehicles that we would have driving down, going south. And then I think we discussed the access points on Ventura Boulevard. Ventura Boulevard, sort of the same situation because of what we've got. Like if you're trying to find another location to make an access point coming off of Ventura Boulevard first, it's a 45-mile-an-hour street, and we already have enough entryways on Ventura Boulevard as it is, and this would be cause some issues because they've got their equipment on the east side of the street there, or east side of the project, and that would cause some additional issues trying to get in and out of there. And it's just kind of shifting the problem around.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier, I think for the Quick Quack, it might cause those other issues if they were to come in from Hughes. So,
Thank you. Appreciate that. And I know that with the outlets being a major economic driver, the city is very keen to concerns and issues in the area. So I have no doubt that you guys will be watching it. So I appreciate your comments and the fact that you were already thinking about mitigation efforts, however slight. So your answer gives me great confidence. Thank you.
great. Thank you.
Commissioner Murphy.
Yes, I appreciate your response as well. You mentioned, I think, 3 items: signal phasing, striping, and left possibly squeezing in a left turn lane. On the left turn lane, were you referring to Camarillo Center Drive to access these projects?
Yes, that'd be Camp Center Drive. We would really need to, I was trying to draw it out a little earlier to see how it would fit. We might be able to fit like a two-car left turn pocket in there. We may need to reduce the existing by a few feet, but it'll be pretty close. But that's the thing. So when they submit that, we'll take a look at that striping plan and see what we can do and try to maximize that queuing areas to turn into that driveway.
I see. And will that be their striping plan or just the city working with the applicant?
It's part of the conditions
make it
that
work.
they submit that to us, and then we'll review it, and then we can modify as needed.
All right. Thank you. That's great.
Sure.
Okay, see no further questions. I'll open it up to the public. Do any community members have any comments to share with the commission, including the applicant? Okay, seeing none, then we'll close the public hearing. And this item is open for discussion.
I didn't really have any too much as far as discussions. The one thing I did notice on that cul-de-sac, because I parked right on that cul-de-sac to look at the lot, there was a gate going in to the road that runs behind or down to the motel and along the back of the mobile home park. So I don't know if that has something to do with, the ability to use that cul-de-sac for, getting in and out. So,
Any other comments?
No other comments.
Okay, and do we have an architecture review report?
we do have an architectural review. We did look at it. We really like the design. I had some discussions, or I had a concern, and we had some discussions on the color tones, that maybe in the future they might consider going more towards a taupe or grayish to fit in more with the colors around. The applicants did state that this was like their standard color for that company, but it is totally different than anything in the area. So our recommendation is that we are approving it, but hoping that in the future they can have some discussions on the color.
And I think the applicant mentioned that they're fairly locked into those colors, and correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
we did talk about, instead of the darker, the grays, the term grayish came up, combination of gray and beige, obviously.
Yeah.
So we would, again, encourage some reconsideration along those lines, but it's not a deal breaker for us. Thank you.
Any questions for the Architecture Review Committee?
I did have comment. Staff said regarding the public art requirement, and that what was provided was kind of just generally represented, and that it would be brought back and staff would approve that. Did I hear that correctly? And is that, I thought, hearkening back to past ones, it was the architectural committee that sort of put the final on the actual art, or at least a pretty close rendering. So I'm wondering if there was a change there?
You would be correct. It would come back to the planning commission for
It would,
approval.
okay.
I think I may have been a little
No,
confusing when I said
my hearing
that.
aids don't work, so, thank you.
Yeah.
That was my only question, thank you.
Yes, we do expect this to come back when they get to, I believe it was said, the second phase for the building.
Thank you.
So,
Okay, that makes sense. Great, thank you.
is that correct?
I just had a question. I know it's near the freeway, so it's within the heritage zone. Did the Architectural Review Committee compare that to what the heritage zone requirements are?
Yeah, we did look as far as they put in the arches, they put in grow work, they put in some things to, even though it does have a more modern look to it, they did put in some touches that bring it into code for meeting those designs.
Because the Architectural Review Committee, I don't think requires necessarily the Spanish style, but it requires just an enhancement because it's in the visual corridor as we
Right.
pass through Camarillo.
Yeah, so I mean, the heritage, does have specific architectural designs that it has to be in line with. And I know when I first looked at it, it looked really like more modern than Spanish Mediterranean, or the things on the list, but yet, by the time they did go to put in the arches and soften it or put in the different characteristics going around the building, that kind of brings it into that category. And we do have to looking at maybe modernizing the characteristics a little bit, at times, so.
Okay, thank you.
And on the color, we did acknowledge that there are more grays going in, like in the industrial areas and different areas of construction along the freeway area or even off of the freeway area. But yet when you drive around the outlets, it's not, very predominant there,
Okay, thank you.
so.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, is there a motion on this item?
You'll make a motion for approval?
I'll second.
Can you please call for a vote?
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes,
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Edsel,
Yes.
Vice Chair Davidson,
Yes.
Chair Limon.
Yes. Okay, and the motion passes. And the next item on the agenda is related to the one we just heard, item D, with CPD 259, the Quick Quack Car Wash, which will also begin with the staff presentation.
Thank you, Chair Limon. This item will be presented again by Associate Planner Serena Gonzalez.
Yeah, apologies if anything sounds repetitive. It's a lot of the same information. So this one will be for CPD 259, Quick Quack Car Wash. This is a request made by Dawn Shively on behalf of Quick Quack to construct a 3,588 square foot car wash on 59,810 square feet of a vacant 2.79 acre lot located at the corner of Ventura Boulevard and Camarillo Center Drive. The project site has a general plan designation of commercial and zoning designation of commercial plan development. To the north of the site will be the Rove project, as previously discussed, as well as Ventura Boulevard. To the east, that motel, and then the mobile home park. To the south, the portion of the outlets, and then also the other portion of the outlets to the west. The site vacant, as we have discovered, it had those two previous projects for the Automobile Repair Center and the AAA building approved, never constructed. Here you can see the site plan. Cars will come in off of Camarillo Center Drive, go in through this long driveway that has about 5,000 square feet of queuing area with a double lane that greatly exceeds their requirement for queuing. They are only required about 2,000 square feet as their peak operational number is 41 cars per hour. So hopefully that will prevent any cars from queuing into Camarillo Center Drive, so we don't have any traffic backup from the project specifically. The project also proposes 3 parking spaces for employees, which is compliant with code stating that there is 1 spot required per employee at the largest amount of employees required per shift. There will also be 10 spaces, as you can see here and here, that will be for cars that are going to vacuum and utilize those vacuum and other cleaning products that they have for the insides of the car post coming out of the car wash. The car wash, you exit after going through the tunnel and then through that area here for vacuuming onto this middle road right here. This area, as I mentioned before, there is a loading zone. So there will be a little loading zone there that's shared between the 2 projects. And then their trash enclosure for this project is right here. When the cars exit, they'll go past here and back out onto Camarillo Center Drive. Here you can see this is the north and south elevation. You can see that They included some stone veneer along the bottom and then up the sides of the building here. There's some different massing to break up the elevation and different accents on the windows and along the parapet roof line in order to add some more visual interest to the building. Those same types of architectural features can be seen throughout that south elevation. And then here you can see both the entrance to the tunnel and the exit. There'll be some signage that community development will review and approve at a later time. And you can see here that there is this beigey orange color that is used that ties in well with the earth tone requirement of the heritage zone. Here's a better kind of view of the materials being used. You can see the different stone in the stone veneer, the stucco for the walls, and then those different accent colors along. I guess I didn't include, and I showed this in the architectural review, I forgot to put in the canopies, but there will also be canopies that you can see on the site plan here. Those canopies will be of the more brown color, and they will also have trash cans throughout that are disguised in a little orange ball, so that way you can't really see it from anywhere except for right under those canopies. And this is going to sound probably exactly like the last presentation, but Parker Environmental prepared a single Class 32 categorical exemption report. And this report was for both projects. The combined analysis confirmed that neither project triggers any exceptions to the exemption. There are no unusual circumstances, cumulative impacts, or significant effects related to traffic, air quality, noise, or biological resources. The project is fully served by existing infrastructure. There are no sensitive habitats, and air quality was a key consideration. They will be below Ventura County's threshold of 25 pounds per day of nitrogen oxides at around 22 pounds per day. As I mentioned before, it's really important to keep note that that is a county-wide project threshold, not the project specific. So it would really need to be all projects in the county to really make a huge impact on neighboring residential uses and just overall air quality. There was also, as mentioned before, a noise study that was done. The noise study was done for both sites, so the project will only put out about 49 decibels during the day and 38 at night, which is below the city's limits. Staff recommends that the commission find the project qualifies for a Class 32 categorical exemption pursuant to Section 15332 of the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines, and that they adopt a resolution approving CBD 259 subject to the recommended conditions of approval. And that's it for this one. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any questions for the staff?
I know.
I don't,
Commissioner Murphy?
your turn.
I just have one. This has to do with the entry for the project, which is the entry for both projects. Will the striping plan have a prohibitive bar or a signage that encourages folks to not block the entryway or the intersection, especially during the holiday season?
Thank you, Commissioner Murphy. Yes, we can go ahead and look at that, and when we look at the striping plan, we can add that in there. And during the holidays, we can make those type of changes. And as things go and we start to see these type of things happen, we can make modifications as needed, add additional signage and other striping changes if we need to.
That sounds good. See what's working as it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll get a better idea of how everything's operating.
All right, thank you. That's it for me.
Is it called Quick Quack? Okay, Quick Quack. Is that a chain of
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do we know what their logo looks like? I know that might seem a little silly, but are we talking like a 75-foot duck, or are we talking a, what's going to be emblazoned on these buildings?
It will not be a 75-foot duck. We've talked to them about it already.
Okay, good.
It will look like normal signage. It will look like a duck, but it won't be anything egregious, so don't worry.
No, it's good. It's just that whole area, especially with the development of the convention center that's going on, it's been very thoughtfully done. The tones are nice. The signage is kind of demure. And so when you hear Quick Quack, that's great. It's catchy, and I love I love it. But I just would hope that we don't suddenly have a thumb sticking out of. I think everybody hears where I'm going with this.
Don't worry. It will not be a giant duck sticking out. I have seen other Quick Quacks. I was in Utah in October. Some of the other ones are a little bit more brightly decorated, but we did our best to make sure that this one fit within the heritage zone and didn't really stand out.
Thank you.
Is there a rendering of this duck that we can see, or is this part of the architecture review committee?
We do not have one readily available right now. I believe in a previous submittal, we did have one, but I could email it to you at another time if you wanted to take a look.
I would be interested, actually. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Commissioner Edsel? Okay, I don't have any questions either. So this is a time for any committee members who would like to speak to this item to come forward.
We received one public comment from Steve Du Bois.
Mr. Du Bois, please state your full name for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Steve Du Bois. I'm a resident of Camarillo for almost 10 years. With regards to the Quick Quack, a quick count shows we have already way more than a half a dozen car washes in Camarillo. I know the newest one is over on Daily Drive. I've used it myself a couple of times. It's never full. I've never driven by there and seen cars queued outside of that lot or even full up to the road. My math might be a little bit off, but I believe California has been in drought conditions for at least 12 out of the last 15 years. Why are we approving another high water use project when the area is already more than well enough served by existing commercial assets? I don't know if this is the first time you've heard this project or not, but none of you asked any questions about the water use. Where's the water coming from? Are they pumping it out of the aquifer? Are they piping it in? What are they going to do with the chemical-laden water that's left over? Is it going to be reused, recycled, to be used again? Is it just being dumped? I'm sure there are regulations governing cleaning it up, depending on where it's going to go. And again, I don't know if you heard this project before, but I'm surprised that none of these questions were asked. There was a noise study done. Was there a water use study done? How much water is this thing going to use? I really strongly urge you to deny this use. In California, we don't need more high water uses like a car wash. There's plenty already available. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other members of the public who would like to address this item?
My name is Don Shively. I represent Quick Quack in this.
Sorry, if you haven't already, please fill out a card after you complete your comment.
As the applicant, I still need to fill out a card?
Oh, no, I apologize. Okay, no, you do not. Can you please start again?
So I'm just here to answer any questions that you may have concerning our car wash project.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Commissioner Murphy?
Right, so the question had to do with signage or anything that you might have on the site that attracts customers to Quick Quack facility. What are your intentions along those lines?
I'm glad you asked. It's a 45-foot duck, not a 75-foot duck
Great.
on there. No, our mascot is a duck. We play on our name, Quick Quack. And we have tasteful signage. We have it on 300 car washes that we have throughout the western United States. And it's signage that we work with the community on, and it's our branding. But it's very tasteful.
We put up a rendering or a picture. I'm not sure exactly if it's a location. Also, just for your guys' information, we have not reviewed the specific signage, so it will come in and it will adhere to our signage regulations before we approve it. So it will not be anything that wouldn't be normally approved.
That's our prototype right there. And so we've softened our prototype colors and worked with the planning staff for the current design.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful, that graphic.
Any questions for the applicant?
Yes, so without addressing specifically any public comments, it is my understanding that water conservation, especially in car washes in California, are held to a pretty high standard, and it's my understanding that car washes actually tend to use less water than, say, restaurants and things like that of a similar size, especially with water drops. I know here in town, they use actually less water than or forgive me, Denny's, I believe, that was there prior. Can you speak to that a little bit? I think it would do the community well to hear that while
Well-
California does a good job of requiring very strict use of water, it would be nice to sort of refresh the community's understanding of what we might have taken for granted. And I do appreciate the commenters bringing that and calling us on that, so thank you.
Sure, I appreciate that. The misconception is that we leave the water running all day long, and that's not the case. If I don't have any customers show up that day because I have too much competition and they're going somewhere else, I don't use any water at all. The only water that would happen would be on the landscaping that you're requiring us to put into it. Otherwise, we don't use any water. What we do is we conserve water. And what we're doing is we're taking it from your residents that are washing their cars on their driveway. They're running 100 gallons of water down the driveway, into the storm drains, out to the ocean. What we do is we conserve that water. We save it by about 40%. We use about 60 gallons of water, and part of that, or most of that, is actually recycled water that we capture from our car wash process. So we are in the process of recycling that water, reusing it, and using it back on our customers.
Thank you.
Commissioner Murphy?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so if you're recycling it, then does it go through a filter system on the way around, or?
Yes,
continually
we go
have
through several
filters that you
settling
need to-
tanks that's underground in our facility, and it gets recycled, taking out the impurities, and it comes back through osmosis into our car wash.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great about the recycling. On the wastewater, another one of Mr. Du Bois's concerns, is it going directly to the sanitary sewer system, the discharge from the site? When you
Yeah,
can't
it'll-
recycle it any further, does it go directly to the sanitary sewer system?
That's correct. We will go back through into the sewer system, and it is recycled at that point.
Okay, so some of the water eventually leaves the
Correct.
site, right? And
Correct.
so does that
We
go
can't
into the
capture all of it.
storm drain? But does that go into the
Not the storm drain, it'll go into your sewer
sewer?
lines.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Any other member of the public who would like to address this item? I'll note that we did receive a public comment via email or electronically, and this was for the previous item and this item as well regarding traffic concerns, and there have been questions and responses to that effect. Okay, so seeing no further public comments, I now close the public hearing and open it up for discussion.
If you want the architectural comments first or after discussions?
After discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, I have nothing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that the comments from Cami Pensack are important, and it sounds to me like the city is is on it, and that they will, in combination with the applicant, do what they can to address the traffic concerns, particularly those around the holiday season, and make some possible adjustments to traffic phasing and striping and signing. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did enjoy all the conversations on the traffic control, and that I feel they're going to keep an eye on it and change as needed, once it gets into play. And I also like to hear that the water is recycled and going down through into the systems, and then it just becomes recycled water to be used again throughout the city. So that sounds satisfactory on both of those issues.
And it's my understanding that the conditions that were, some of which were outlined for the actual permit, that those can be reviewed at a future date. Even if we approve today, those conditions can be modified to address any further the future concerns. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. If there's no further discussion, we will now hear from the Architectural Review Committee.
And we did review this, and we are recommending approval on it. We liked all of the variations on the ins and outs and the roof lines and the different materials used. And there is still going to be a question that's going to have to be watched on the traffic that goes around, but that doesn't have anything to do with the architectural part of it. So we are recommending that go forward as is.
And a question, you did not include in your review a review of the logo itself and
No, we did not.
the placement and size.
That's right. We did wonder why the art requirement did not exist for this when it did exist for the application next door, the other one that we reviewed tonight. But this facility will be further away from the major view sheds of the streets. And also part of the requirement for the first application that we reviewed was to get some more earth tones, more beiges and yellows and so forth in there to help address the concern of that those buildings being essentially light and dark gray.
Great, thank you. Any questions for the committee?
And one of the other comments that staff made as far as the art feature was that this building had quite a lot of texture to it and different types of materials and colors that were throughout. So they didn't feel that also added into not needing an additional art feature.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is there a motion on this item?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. And can you please call for a vote?
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes?
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Edsel,
Yes.
Vice Chair Davidson,
Yes.
Chair Limon.
Yes. Okay, and the motion passes. Okay, and now our next item is a plaque presentation.
I get to step in now. So at this time of year, each year, we take a moment to show our appreciation and to celebrate the year that we had with our chair. And this year, it falls to me to be able to present you with that token of our appreciation. And as I was thinking about that today, I was hearkening back to the year and sort of what defined your assuming the role of chairperson, and it was grace was the word that came to mind. And it was, as I thought about the moments of maybe tension in the room and things like that, it was always your grace and style and kindness that that always I left the room appreciating. And you have a way of making people on both sides of an argument feel heard and respected, and I believe that that will be a legacy that that each of us can take. We're lucky to have a very good commission that gets along well, and I think that you are sort of an exponent at the end of that equation that just makes it that much better. So that being said, I would like to, on behalf of everyone, the City of Camarillo and my fellow commissioners, present you with a gavel recognizing your time. and showing our appreciation for all that you've done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Vice Chair Davidson, I very much appreciate your kind words. That's very thoughtful, and this year went by very quickly, and I very much appreciate the opportunity to have served in this position. It's been a privilege, and I have my appreciation for the role of the commission, all of your volunteer time as commissioners, and the expertise and work of the staff has only grown. And it's been a learning process for me as well. And I've also really appreciated the role of the community in contributing to our discussions, bringing opinions and thoughts and requests to us that add to the richness of our own deliberations, as happened here tonight. So again, it's been a privilege, and I look forward to continuing to work with you on the commission as I step down from the role. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and so now we get to reorganize the commission, and this consists of a process for nominations for the next chair and vice chair. Will the secretary please explain the reorganization process?
Sure. The reorganization of the Planning Commission includes selecting a new chair, vice chair, and members to serve on the Architectural Committee. Nominations will be open for the chair and vice chair. If more than one commissioner is nominated, we will vote in the order the nominations were received. Once all nominations are received, Chair Limon will ask for a motion to close nominations, and we will proceed to a vote. If multiple commissioners are nominated, we will hold separate votes for each, and the commissioner with majority vote will serve. And the same process will be followed for vice chair. Anyone who is nominated but does not wish to serve may simply decline the nomination. After the chair is selected, the chair will have the discretion to select members of the commission to serve on the Architectural Review Committee. Are there any questions?
Any questions? No questions, thank you. Okay, we'll proceed with the office of the chair. Are there any nominations?
Yes, I would like to nominate Rob Davidson, our vice chair, to be chairman.
I'll second.
Right, any other nominations?
Do we make a motion to close the nominations?
Is there a second motion to close?
Second.
Oh,
Beverly.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a nomination of current vice chair Davidson for chair. Will you please call for a vote, Secretary?
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Edsel,
Yes.
Vice Chair Davidson,
Why not?
Chair Limon.
Yes. And the motion carries, and we now have a new chair. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Chair Davidson.
Thank you.
Okay, we will now move on to the office of vice chair. Are there nominations for this position?
I'll nominate Director Murphy. Rich Murphy.
I'll second that nomination.
Any other nominations? Is there a motion to close?
Motion to close.
I'll second.
Great. All right, let's move forward with Secretary. Can you please call for a vote?
Commissioner Vandermeulen,
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy,
Why not?
Commissioner Edsel,
Yes.
Vice Chair Davidson,
Enthusiastically, yes.
Chair Limon.
Absolutely. Great, and that motion carries. And so we have a new Vice Chair Murphy. Thank you very much for accepting.
I think you take it from here, don't you?
Yes, and now we move chairs, right? Like
Do we?
literally, yes, we literally move chairs, I believe. Is that right?
Oh,
Because then
all right.
we proceed with the Architecture Committee, which is appointed by the new
we
chair
can do that at
Architecture
the,
Review Committee.
yeah.
with the review committee.
Oh, we still have to do architectural review.
Okay, but that's selected by the new chair.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's you, Rob?
Yeah, okay.
Well,
So,
I'll just
yes.
stay here and we'll,
Okay.
we'll move.
Yes, and you can-
Yes, okay.
Our new chair will,
I'll
yes.
assume the,
Yeah, the selection
our
of,
position, let's see.
the selection of the Architectural Review Committee is by the new chair.
Okay, so do we have any members who, first, before any selection, do we have anyone who is interested in volunteering to take on or continue in the role on the Architectural Committee? Okay, thank you for that, and I would absolutely support your remaining on it, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, there's one.
And I guess I can do it, yeah.
Will you? Okay, perfect. So it sounds like we have two architectural committee members selected, and so Commissioner Vandermeulen and Commissioner Edsel will make up that committee.
Thank you. Okay, and the next item is Director Report.
The only item I had for you tonight is just a reminder that we have the Planning Commissioners Academy coming up on March 11th through March 13th in Anaheim. So our admin team will be coordinating with each of you to arrange your registration and travel for that. And then right after this meeting is adjourned, we do have refreshments just to say thank you, Chair Limon, for your service, and then bringing on Chair Davidson as our new chair.
Very good.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and the next is commission comments.
Well, I wanted to thank you for a year of great service and lots of ideas and a lot of knowledge that passed through while you were here as chair.
Thank you.
And looking forward to Rob filling that seat next year, or this year, I'm sorry. And just, I've enjoyed working with all of you so much. You know, we're on here and I'm always learning something new. And then with staff, I mean, I can't do without you at all, so. Always learning and always getting all the information that I need, and I appreciate that.
I'd like to add to the term grace that Commissioner Davidson associated with you. And the way I saw it applied during the year was we became, I thought, better interacted with the folks that come up here and voice their concerns about applications rather than say, thank you for your comments and not do anything about it. It seems like you fostered a more helpful group. And by group, I mean not just the commissioners, but legal counsel and staff to think about and discuss and sometimes make changes to the application in the form of conditions of approval or further study input. And I saw you making that happen more than before, and you did that with grace and just being nice and fair to the people who come to these meetings. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Commissioner Murphy, or Vice Chair Murphy.
And I echo those comments too, and you started over at the library, and so we got to move into the new building. But it seemed like this wasn't your first time. You seemed like you were a seasoned pro and, you know, engaged the public. And I think a lot of times the smartest one in the room on your, you know, your background and the detail you have on the different items that came before us. And I enjoy working with all the commissioners as well. So.
Thank you. Well, it's all very, very gracious and kind of you to say. I appreciate it. As I was reflecting on, I made a short list of some of the many items that we reviewed and made decisions on, and it really varied. So from zoning ordinance amendments, including those pertaining to off-sale alcohol establishments, to we learned about tasting licenses with the recent Albertsons license. We oversaw and reviewed projects increasing the number of housing units in the city, which we usually do. We reviewed a CUP to allow for the use of an indoor golf practice facility. We reviewed changes to the general plan safety element and during that update, and then also reviewed and recommended to the city council approval of the first city climate action plan. So it was pretty broad, diverse with the topics that we had the pleasure of engaging on this year. So again, really appreciate all of your work and commitment to our city and also to our staff. So, and Chair Davidson, I wish you a very successful year, and thank you for stepping up to serve in the new role.
Thank you.
Okay, if there are no other comments, and we will adjourn.